Hello everyone. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's had a wonderful day. I thought I'd jump on and give you guys some sales tips and come hang out. It is still rainy here in Southern California, so I'll give you guys a second to jump on. If you're not inside of my private Facebook group, I'm going to share this group over to the Burnout to Breakthrough community so they can see it as well. But once you jump on, hi Kashmir, hi Katie, hi Rosie, I miss you. Hope you guys are having a good day. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of sales tips. The first exciting thing I wanted to share was, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I did post that I'm going to move a little bit further south. I'm going to move to Del Mar in like 2 weeks. I decided to move like a week ago. And so that has been my crazy, hectic, personal fun information that I've been wanting to share with you guys. I was just waiting for all my leasing stuff to finalize. So moving just a little bit further south, but as you jump on, say hi. It is so exciting and I can't wait. So hi Bridget. So I'm going to be moving down there. It's about 50 minutes south of here, but I'm excited just to be in San Diego. Ever since I have been down there, I used to travel a lot down there for work and then been there for a lot of conferences. So I've been just like craving to get down there, and the opportunity presented itself, and so I'm going. So it's a last minute decision, of course. Like me, I like to just decide and then go and do things. Hi Emily. So here we are. Been in San Diego crushing lately. I think everybody has. I feel like somebody told me before that there's an axis right now that a few different cities are falling on. So there's a lot of attraction into places like San Diego, Denver, Nashville. There's like a huge draw to that. So I see why everybody is excited to go there. I will be in more like North County area. So if anyone ever wants to come visit, you have a friend to see. Okay, so let's gonna dive into sales stuff. And I know that sales is always like an awkward conversation that we usually have, right? And I don't want it to feel awkward for anybody, which is why I am a huge believer in making it feel very heart-centered, making it feel very natural, because it is your purpose. Like in your business, you have a business, you're obviously selling something at some point, because that's what you do. Like that's how businesses, any business makes money. They make money through people investing. And something I think is a beautiful thought, and something that my mentor always shares as well, is that you're not manifesting money. You know, a lot of people will say like, I want to manifest $1,000. Like you're manifesting a human that's behind that and their power within that. So I think that's always something to kind of keep in to your mind as you're going through the sales process and everything. So let's say if you're in the middle of having a conversation with somebody and you're going, back and forth on Messenger, or you're in a sales call, the best thing that you can do in those moments is ask a lot of questions. We want to like jump to the gun really quick and put everything out there. So if somebody's like, hey, like can I get some more information about your program, can I get this, it's easy for us just to want to be like, here's all the information, here's what the investment is, here's this, here's that, and then they're like overwhelmed and you usually get kind of ghosted or things go quiet, right? They want to know that they can trust you with the information. And the best thing that I have found to do, and it just makes you a human, honestly, is ask questions. Identify what your client is struggling with. Where do they want to go? If they're launching something, if they're struggling with their health and their fitness, their nutrition, whatever your topic of coaching is, like ask and engage with them. See where they want to go. Get them to understand like what's the ideal outcome of what they're trying to achieve. What's, let me turn off my messenger here. What are they trying to achieve? What are they hoping to get out of their pain points? So you're really identifying those pain and pleasure points. So then that way you can help assess the fit. That's what you're doing on a sales call. That's what you're doing in the messenger. You're there to assess if whatever you have to offer is the best fit for them. And you do that by asking them a lot of questions. So also in this moment too is where a lot of mirroring should be happening. So if they're struggling with X, Y, Z, you want to bring that information back to them. So, it sounds like you're struggling with this, and this. If you were able to go, what's on the opposite side of that? Like what's the ideal outcome for them to go into? Those are the things that you want to be able to mirror back to them. So then that way they can see themselves in that. And they also in that moment too, from a psychological standpoint, is they're hearing that you are, hi Matt, they're hearing that you're understanding them and that you're being supported by them, that you are understanding what they're struggling with and where they want to go. So mirroring is a really good way to be able to do that, because you're the person that's getting ready to invest in you, like they're scared shitless. Like it's scary to invest at no matter what level, and they want to make sure that they're being heard, that they're feeling supported, and that you're able to guide them. It's you showing up as their coach even before you've started coaching them. And I think that's a really beautiful process and a space to hold within that. Now, the second thing, which is more of kind of like an energetical, spiritual standpoint with everything, is think about yourself and what happens with you when you're investing. Are you usually going into investment, really scared or wondering if it's going to be a right return on your investment, or if you're going to show up and do the work, or if the program is going to work? If there's a lot of scarcity and lack and fearfulness in how you usually invest, like sometimes that's going to be what's brought back into you. So it's always good to do a gut check and ask yourself, like, do I know this to be true about me, or is there something else? Or maybe it's a topic of, being able to receive. And I talk about this a lot in my podcast, being able to receive a client, money, a relationship, whatever that is. If you're struggling with that in the sales process and you're like, okay, it's not me investing, like I've done the investing, that sort of thing, tap into, is there something else coming up? Do you have a fear if you can actually, take them through this process? If so, where is that coming up from? Like there's always this interconnectedness with our sales, and when we're showing up, or putting ourselves out there, whatever that is, there's an energetic side to that too. And understanding why one thing might not be working and being able to see, okay, well, this pops up in this area of my life, or this pops up in this area. Then the moment happens, like all my clients will see this when I'm like messaging them back and forth, like the little like mind blown emoji, because I'm like, okay, this is probably happening because there's this fear, or you've brought this up before, and then it's like, oh, I get it now. Okay, let me adjust, let me shift and figure out what I need to do differently, so then that way I can come back into this place, in this space, feeling empowered, feeling confident in myself, and knowing that when you are selling something, like you have a gift that's going to change somebody's life. And when you can really own that from a place of money is not a bad thing, it's an exchange of energy, and it's a place where it's a vehicle to help people out of pain and getting closer to what they want, and you're the driver of that vehicle. It's an amazing experience to think about, rather than needing to feel scarce or from any sort of like lack mindset. So just something kind of think about on the back end side, because if you guys have worked with me or know me, I'm going to talk about both. I'm always going to give you the strategy, but also the spiritual connection or the energetic connection that happens within that too. And the third tip that I have for you all is honestly, like, selling anything is about holding space for that person. It's not about chasing a client. It's not about hunting them down, following up with them 5 times. I know it's sometimes what a lot of, companies or people will teach is to, reach back out, follow up. But that comes from such like a scarce place, right? Like, hold space for that person. And I know a lot of times people say like, oh, don't say like, let me know. Like, that's how I do. I'm like, if this is going to be a good fit for you, then reach back out, but I'm not going to like follow up with you a million times. Like, that's not my way of doing it. And when I do that, I hold space for the client, because the people that I work with and the people that all of you want to work with too, you want to work with the people that are ready, people that may, are able to make that decision, and they feel empowered in that. If you go back in there chasing, there's this lack mindset of like, there's never going to be enough, or where are these clients going to come from? Like, if your constant thing is like, let me follow up with them 3 times, like what standard and reality are you creating for yourself where you feel like you always have to chase a client? If you believe in your heart and your soul that like more clients can always come, then more clients will always come. It will always come, like always come. I cannot speak today. But I think something to remember too, if you ever get into that place of like, well, is there going to be more clients? Like, will I be able to keep growing? Will I be able to keep scaling? Think about all the people that you did not know in your life last year, and all the people that you know in your life this year. Like, I have so many clients that I did not know a year ago, and we grow with them, and you grow, and it's not your like birthright to just have one good month, a couple good months, or a few new clients and then like never have any again. Like, you keep growing, you keep getting visible, more people keep coming. But if you go into that fear mindset, you're going to end up attracting that back into there of that there's never enough. And if you feel like there's never enough, I want you to think about like, where did that maybe come up in other areas of your life where you feel like you're always behind, or you're always trying to catch up, or that there's never enough. If you've been told that, kind of going into some inner child work and stuff too, if you've been told that growing up, there's pieces of that are going to pop up into your business, which is why I always dive into inner child work, because I think it's absolutely amazing. Emily says, I love the strategy. Yeah, some people feel pressure that way and just buy. And, for some people, so here's the thing with that too. For some people, that works. For some people that love to send cold messages, it works for them because they have the belief behind that. For some people, following up, it works for them because that's what they believe in. But if you're like, I don't like to do that, I don't like to send cold messages, I don't like to follow up, then you find the way for you that works out, because that's then what you're going to attract. For some people, certain strategies work. That's because they have the belief in it. Some people believe that, 1% of email list converts to a webinar or whatever that strategy might be. And so that's the belief that they have, and that's what ends up working for them. But if you're like, I don't really, want that, or I don't want the things that make sense, or I don't want to have to like hustle and harass people because it feels like hell on earth to do that, or doesn't feel good in your heart and in your gut, you do that check with yourself and you ask yourself, how can I hold space for them to be able to work with me in a different way? And obviously there's strategy behind that too, of warming up your market, being able to engage with them, providing value, getting that know, like, and trust. But at the end of the day too, like, that's what you are as a coach. Even when you are coaching with people, you're here to hold space always. You're not going to be able to fix every client or every problem, and you're there to be a guide for them. So the whole process within selling too, it's about going into it as the coach before you're already their coach. And when you can go into it from a heart-centered place and you're a human, not like a robot trying to follow a script or trying to do things in a certain way, like, have a normal conversation like you would with a friend. And if that's hard to do for you on like Messenger, like typing back and forth, get on voice memo. Let them know that you can connect with them and that you can hear them and they can see your voice, because anytime somebody's going to put their energy, their money into you, it's scary at any single level. And so they want to know that they're going to feel supported, that they feel heard, that they feel trusted, and that, hi Kaylee, hi Brittany, and that they're able to go with you on this journey, and that you're going to be there in their corner. I mean, that's really what having a coach is. It's about having somebody that you can turn to when you want to celebrate, when you need help with something, when you need that little pick-me-up. Like, that's what somebody is in your corner for, is to be that guide, to be the person that goes first, to be the person that leads the way. And so you have to ask yourself, as someone that's selling, or as someone that's a leader or a coach or whatever, is, am I going first? Am I putting myself in these situations so therefore I can ask for this situation to be given back to me? Am I showing up? Am I doing things? Am I being decisive? Am I holding space? Am I being the leader and creating the things that I wish that I had? That's how I make all of my programs. I'm like, what did I wish existed? What do I wish would help me? And that's what I do. I create things I wish I had. I create the coaching experiences, whether it's a mastermind, my one-on-one coaching, or anything. Hi, Alexis. Hi, Kaylee. I don't know if I said hi to you yet, but it's about creating that experience that you wish you had, because that's where the magic really begins to happen. Hi, Siggy. Hi. He's going to be barking back there. So just some different things to think about. If you guys jumped on a little bit later, I would recommend going back and watching that. You guys get to hear Ziggy bark, which is always fun. Zig, hey. He's going to be grumpy because there is a skateboarder. So if you guys want to take a second here with me, we're going to go make sure he's chilling out. Okay, last little thing to think about with selling. You guys can say hi to him. He says, hello, hello, hello. We are stressing out because we do not like skateboarders, and there are skateboarders outside. Okay, but anywho, so last thing that I wanted to share with you guys, again, if you jumped on a little bit later, just go back and watch the beginning. I kind of gave 3 different things to think about and a million other little tips inside of there with sales. But the last thing that I want to share with you guys is about I know, Ziggy says hi. Everyone knows Ziggy. He's just a little bit stressed out right now. But the last thing I want to share with you guys is about the Impact and Income Mastermind that is starting here on the 28th. So how I like to run all my coaching programs and how I like to, run my one-on-one coaching, my masterminds, is it's a space for you to calibrate in my energy with other people's energy, and to be able to have that accountability and integration. It can be so easy to, listen to podcasts all day long, consume information, watch videos, like do all these things where we're just like info all day long. But when you're able to hold yourself in a space where You're getting that accountability, you're getting that integration, you're getting your questions answered. You know that someone out there is making sure that you are doing the things that you're gonna say that you're doing, and you're putting yourself in that space, which is why I run my programs that way. So you have that integration, you have that accountability time, and you're in the energy of the other people that are doing the same thing, but you also can get feedback as well. So there's certain programs that I run that are active versus passive, because with these, there's different like levels of like where you need to go and what you need to be able to implement and what you need to be able to integrate rather than just consuming that information. So that's an 8-week mastermind that is starting on the 28th. The beautiful thing about it is you get bonus access to all the information inside Burnout to Sellout, which is huge. So it's group coaching calls. You're able to get that one-on-one time with me. So everybody, I'll be doing a couple calls a week, and each person will have like a 20-minute block where they're able to jump on, get their questions answered, plus the beauty, and any of my clients that are on here that are connected with me either in a mastermind or through one-on-one, and they get to use the WhatsApp access with me, they know that that is like where all the magic happens. I'm not a big fan of like, let's wait a whole week before you ask me a question or get on a call. Like, there's a Facebook group, but there's also the WhatsApp where we're able to go back and forth. Like, you're working on something, you need help, you need support, then let's chat about it. You're going through a moment where like shit's hitting the fan, then you get to have that support too. And on the last thing with that too is like you get to have somebody to celebrate with and be able to share the wins with. So that is that. If you guys have questions about the mastermind, I apparently need to go because he's going to be stressed out back here until I help him out. So you guys can send me a message if you have any questions about the mastermind. Thanks for dealing with Ziggy, and I will chat with you guys soon. Goodbye.